What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spearhead transmission. It's November 15th, 2017. It's time to break those chains and water that tree.
It's happening.
It's a 2-week break.
It was nice. It was nice.
1 week vacation, 1 week of putting out a bad podcast we did, right?
I don't know if it was bad. I don't remember. I don't know if we just didn't. It's good to save a couple. Save a few of them. Like so for those.
Well, it's getting around the holidays.
Yeah, we always.
We're around this time of year. Christmas, Thanksgiving, I usually start skipping a couple.
Yeah, I mean, but it's okay. That's what we gotta do. Maybe what I'll do is, I probably won't, but I could. But maybe what I might try to do is like go and listen to other ones, and take good parts out of other podcasts, and then make like one.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It does, and that's why I say I probably won't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But
Just do like we have a subject matter expert of us on the podcast. Like, hey, go listen about this certain subject and tell us what you know about it if you're interested in it. No, 2 weeks off though. Been a lot of crap happening in the news, a lot of shootings happening, right?
yeah, man.
Every time you turn around, there's some guy with an AR-15 shooting up some fucking church or school or country music festival. And that's what I wanted to talk about because no one else is talking about the Las Vegas shooting. Like, did they do this on 9/11?
No.
I was overseas, right? And I know 9/11 had how many people die?
About 3,000.
Yeah, so it was a lot more.
Yeah,
it seems like they would still be talking about it, right?
Yeah, but that, you know what's the bigger news story? A bigger news story is the fucking NFL players not standing for the national anthem or something. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I'm tired of hearing on the news.
What's that?
What was that?
Was it a ghost?
I don't know. Is the word collusion?
Really?
If I ever, like my wife even said it. She's like, if I hear Russian collusion one more time on the radio, I'm going to lose it. And I was like, what? What's the problem? Well, then yesterday, I was listening to the radio, and that's, is there proof that the Donald Trump campaign had collusion with Russia prior to the election? And then it was like, Hillary Clinton colluded with Russia prior to the election. Like, dude, talk about something else. Here's the thing. Even if they find out something, nothing's gonna fucking happen to either side.
No.
We go through all this shit. Everyone jumps around like, "Oh, we got him. We got him."
Yeah.
Fucking Barack Obama sent out that half-assed birth certificate that was. I was like,
that it
that's
was
the fakest shit I've ever seen in my life. And it was just like, "Oh, hey, Osama bin Laden died."
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit, man.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That the birth certificate that wasn't merged, the Photoshop document that had they didn't merge the layers.
I never once believed. I was like, I've got to have enough faith that someone somewhere was like, "Hey, this guy's an American citizen. Like, just check that box off or whatever." And then when I saw that, I was like, "This is the fakest shit I've ever seen in my life." And then where the shit's not merged, it's got all those layers on it.
Dude, it's so comical to think that it's like, I honestly believe that some of the shit is done on purpose. Like, it's just like, watch this. Just watch what we can get away with. And then they sit back and laugh. I don't know.
But the Vegas shooting, I'll go back to that.
All right.
Like, there's still, video you sent me today, that was an awesome video because that's exactly how I feel on all these conspiracies. Like, they're unanswered questions. I'm not saying that I don't believe that it wasn't just a simple act of some guy going nuts and shooting up a crowd of people.
But let's get some.
But answer these questions. Like, these are
what was the name of the video? It was like 30 unanswered questions.
Yeah, in reference to the Las Vegas shooting.
What was the name of that channel? I'm gonna try to get that guy on the show.
TV
no, Zone Zero Doubt or something like that.
Okay. But he brought up a lot of good points about stuff like this guy that said he was in the room, he was next to the room, and he got the rooms mixed up, and then the timing between, running from if the door was breached between the two rooms that he supposedly,
right, the suite next to it.
Yeah, like
why did they need to breach it?
Yeah, was he running out in the hallway back and forth? And then why the hell would the security guard leave the country? The prime, like
the guy who witnessed
to the most deadly shooting in the United States, and the next day is whisked away to fucking Mexico.
After he was shot.
Yeah, the suspect's house is burglarized.
Yeah, what was it?
The next day.
Yeah.
But the fucking security guard's house got like big time security around it.
Yeah.
Private security. Well, I mean, there's just like, hey, what? Maybe it's got a simple answer. Maybe that, like.
But
one of those sheriffs.
When you're running into all those questions, it doesn't sound simple.
Like, why? My biggest question is like, why'd you revise the timeline? Like, that should be pretty cut and dry, right? Because you've got cameras, and then the other thing is, where is the surveillance video of the guy like walking in and out, walking down the street, being in Las Vegas before this happened? Like, I'm sure if someone said, "Hey, let's find," here's a case in point. I knew someone that their car got egged, and the police went to Quick Trip and found videotape of the guy that they suspected doing it on the Quick Trip video about purchasing eggs. That's a fucking someone egging a car in Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah. You telling me in Las Vegas you can walk around for how many days was he there? 5 days?
Holy shit! I can't believe that they.
I can't either. That kind of blows my mind.
Like, well, they take egging serious.
But you know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, you can't walk. You can walk around Las Vegas for 5 days without being caught on a camera anymore.
Yeah. Well, here's
the only
deal.
picture they got of you is you with your eyes closed, holding up a shot glass. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's happening is they gotta remove all of the other people that he was hanging out with every time he was caught on camera. So it's gonna look like one of those actors that are, before they get the animated character next to him.
Oh, yeah.
So he's at.
I got so far into some videos today that there's like apparently 3 super soldiers that were shooting up the entire thing under invisibility cloaks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Invisibility cloaks.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I wish I had one of those.
China apparently had some of the technology in 2003, so I mean that's years ago.
How? Like, what's it take to make an invisibility cloak?
It's math, obviously. It's in China.
Don't they do all their math on abacuses?
I don't know. How are you invisible? It's math.
It's all math.
Yeah. You're a math guy. You figure it out. Oh, man.
That's the truth, though.
What?
It's math.
Oh, I guarantee it is.
Yeah, it's all
it's
math.
Ones and zeros anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I find it odd. And I forwarded a blog from the Brushbeater blog on the podcast page.
Uh-huh.
And it was talking about, like, we've had these shootings with basically no explanation in the last, month? And it's fishy, right? Like, it just seems like, I don't know.
No,
it seems like they're just like that story, foreign and domestic,
Uh-huh.
Like, they're pushing this to try to get a reaction of,
So what happened though? So check it out. Like, okay, let's just say that this, because the story's gone away, but let's say that it didn't go the way that they wanted it to go, and that's why it's gone away, right? So it didn't go the exact way that they wanted it to go, or maybe that it's gone the exact way that they wanted it to go, and that's why they're hiding it as well. Like, it's part of the next step in the agenda, right? Like, oh, we're gonna try to draw more conspiracy nuts, right? Because we're just gonna. But regardless of the media, right? So regardless of the mainstream media, it's like this. Before we got on here and we started talking, you said we were talking about how I believe Donald Trump's still an insider, and then he showed me a video of why the media, like, they're making fun of him opening a weird water bottle. And I said, well, I believe he's still an insider. I just believe that his role, even in the eyes of the media has, like, the main trolls of the media still need to believe that he's an outsider, right? Or still need to believe that he's the complete bumbling idiot that he is, right? And so they're going to make fun of him.
I'm pretty
just
sure
like
they do, because there's...
I guarantee they do, and that's how it works. I mean, but that's
because we watched the video prior to this of him drinking out of a bottle of water. And
right.
Said, Donald Trump has an awkward moment with a bottle of water. Like,
right.
You serious? That's
the news.
That's cutting edge.
But it's because they don't agree with him, right? So the guys who make those decisions, but the top dudes, the people that own those media companies, are like, man, what the fuck? It's okay. You know, Donald, you're gonna get made fun of. It's okay. It's all part of your role. All right. Now with this narrative, with this Vegas shooting, this to me would be like, this would be, to those same media clowns, this would be the ultimate, the holy grail. Like, I mean, fuck, if you want to get something done, mm-hmm. this would be top story nonstop.
Well, I think it's like you said, because if you look too deep, it's not going to add up, and then it's going to be blown open and be like, who's this other guy that died in this room that got drug off on camera or whatever?
So, but that has to be driven from somewhere else, right? Like, you would think that they'd... well, I don't know. That's a good point. Like, you don't want to let it die, but then whenever everything's not adding up, you're like, oh shit, we can't.
That's what I think is like, look, it's not working like we thought. There's too many cameras. Fucking the security guard got shot in the leg in the middle of the
mm-hmm.
thing. Wasn't supposed to happen. Fucking other guy got blasted in the head.
Yeah, did you, within that video, so everybody that's watching or listening, I mean, there's people that are listening live, and then there are people that will listen to this later. There's a video that is titled, like, 30 Unanswered Questions from the Vegas Shooting. And he starts with his line of questions, and it's pretty basic, but then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper as he lays it out. And Nick had mentioned a couple of them. However, the questions get pretty deep, like the fact that he's shot in the chest and in the head.
Well, that, and there's two shots at the end, right?
Right, like man, I don't know. And then whenever you look at the angle where he's shooting from, right? Mm-hmm. The main suite. Why would you even need the other window of that in that other room? And then why would you have to breach the door in between? And there's a lot of questions. And I guess whenever you do start to dig into it, it becomes more and more apparent that there's something awry. And so who tells, like, people like that, hey, we're not running with that. We're not going with that. We're not even, where does that come from? Department of Homeland Security? Like, do they issue something saying, look?
I don't know. I mean, I seriously just feel like,
like, if I'm a reporter, I want to be like, hey,
think about
send me out here. Let me look at this.
You got a mic in your ear, and you're like, hey, go up to the car, or go up to this guy, or go up to this girl. I'm gonna ask this girl out. I'm gonna guide you from the outside, right? Like, hey, tell her hair looks nice. Tell her you drive a Lamborghini. Like, oh, okay, I drive a Lamborghini. Well, can I see it? Oh shit! Abort! 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 Get the fuck out of there! Like, okay, I gotta go. See you later. That's what it reminds me of. Hey, why are you guys changing the timeline? Like, no more questions.
No questions.
Like, we're out of here. And like I said, man, it may simply just be one of those things where it's like weird.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't add up, but it just doesn't add up, right? But that's the thing. Like even if you were to travel back in time and stand there with the ghost of Christmas past or whatever and watch it without being seen, it may just be exactly like they're saying. But to have all this stuff and not address it just makes me, question it even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like, who the direction's coming from. I don't think it's the Department of Homeland Security. Someone's running their ass anyway. It's Alex Jones' deep state.
Yeah.
Someone black.
Spankers.
Black government.
Reptilian lizards. Which probably is reptilian lizards. I have no problem with that.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, for something like that to happen and then to not even be brought up or looked into, like, hey.
A week later?
Yeah, and the guy's completely just somehow crystal clean on the internet. 2 pictures of him exist. One family picture and the other the closed eye picture. And then to fucking operate in Las Vegas without getting any camera blows my mind.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of good questions in that video too. Like, the dude's left-handed, right? Some shit like.
He's a left-handed boy.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I don't have to talk about this article or talk about the article, but this guy was looking at a volcano.
Oh, I saw this.
And had a GoPro camera. And I used to put it in his crack to videotape some lava coming out. And the lava encases the camera, the GoPro. It cools off and he hammers it out and it survives, right? Like he got the video of the thing like getting engulfed by lava. And every time I see videos of lava, like I want to grab the shit, right? Like I don't think I can go to a volcano, even though I know it's a bad idea. Like I just want to put my hands in that stuff.
I just want to play with it.
Yeah. Doesn't it look like?
Yeah, it looks like fun,
like jelly or something.
Mm-hmm. We didn't even say that. Why were we gone?
You were on vacation. You're at the swingers club or whatever.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It wasn't a swingers club. There was something pretty funny though when we were on our way there. We had a connecting flight in Atlanta, so we flew from Tulsa to Atlanta
to go to Mexico.
Yeah, I know.
Riding a bus.
I know. So we had to, for some reason, we had to take a connecting flight into Atlanta. Then it's because we flew directly into Cozumel instead of flying to Cancun.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go. So we flew directly to Cozumel, which is a small airport. So apparently, they don't have a direct flight to Cozumel, to Cozumel. So we get there, and I find our gate, right?
Yeah.
And so we're sitting down, and it's going to be a small plane. We're sitting down at the gate, and I'm noticing that there is not anybody at the gate. There's a whole bunch of people at the gate, but there's nobody under the age of 65. I was like, what in the fuck? And this is not an exaggeration. That entire plane was full of old people, like older than 65 years old, except for Varsha and I. I was like, I don't know where we're going, man. I don't know. Is this... Like, where did you book us to go to?
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
You guys are gonna go find
jump in that swimming pool and
be young
start. But there was some old lady on that plane. She was sitting next to me whole time, man. I think she was one of those that was like, she smoked for a long time, just mean as shit to her husband.
Yeah.
She was sweet as hell to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rub your leg.
She was ready to.
And fall asleep and do the whole. Hey, Sonny. Pull these pins off. So was it a bunch of old people in Cozumel or what?
So we get there, and then
did you guys eat iguanas?
No, we didn't eat any iguanas. I saw some little iguanas. I didn't see any big ones. No,
your part to take back from the reptilian bankers.
Yeah, start fucking wiping them out. No, the place we went to was really cool. It was we stayed in we had like our own jungle hut, right? And it was maybe a quarter of a mile from there's not really a beach on that side. It's all reef. but it was a quarter mile from there. But the resort was, that deep. It was that deep into the jungle, and so it was pretty. It was relaxing. It wasn't like any other place I've been to. It wasn't like there weren't a lot of people. It was real laid back. Everything was good. I ate a lot, gained a lot of weight. I didn't drink a lot. It wasn't like there weren't a lot of people. That's weird. That's like seeing that ghost.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I've never been to Cozumel. I've only been to Cancun, and I was 18 when I was there, so.
What'd
My
you
brother
do?
went to Cozumel.
Yeah, it's laid back. We did something cool. We did a Jeep tour.
Oh yeah.
They let us drive. They let me drive my own Jeep. Just gave me a Jeep and said, "All right, just follow us." That's pretty crazy, right?
Did you tear it up?
Yeah, we went to it was nice. It was one of those brand new Rubicons. It was badass.
Did you guys go out in the jungle?
We drove all the way north, as far north as we could on the island of Cozumel, and then we went to a tequila tasting plant. Fucking giving us shots of tequila, and then give us the keys to drive back.
It cracks me up because we went to Puerto Vallarta, did the same thing on dune buggies, and then the same thing on four-wheelers. Tequila tour.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fucking gringos in here. You tell them tequila and four-wheelers all over it. You know? They buy it up, all the... But we did the same thing. I was driving that dune buggy through like hell until I fucking blew out the back axle on the thing.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to be on Dateline, where I had to buy a brand new dune buggy for someone. And these dudes, which were illegal aliens into Mexico.
From Guatemala?
From Oklahoma. Or not Oklahoma. From America. Yeah. Yeah, they were white guys. Looked like dirt bike racers and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. But they were like, so.
What?
Yeah, they snuck into Mexico and were working illegally there. They were a little shitty.
To make money? In Mexico?
It's like
to live the life?
Partake in their
wild...
wildness down there. And ran fucking, could speak English. So they...
Oh, so they were... So they owned the dune buggy business?
No, they did work there for somebody.
Oh.
They were pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like scabs and shit. And
oh. That explains it.
So...
Oklahoma boys.
Yeah, so they're down there and...
Some Bonita boys.
They're like... I said, hey man, my car's fucked up. And they're like, let's leave it here. Just hop in that one with those guys. And then those guys didn't want to drive, so I had to drive back. When we got to the place, they hopped in with another vehicle. I drove that one back. But I seriously, fuck. This is like those wave runners they rent you with the dissolving
yeah.
Anyway. And then last week, we just didn't have one. Because you were trying to get romantic.
And my wife was leaving. So, yeah. She's on vacation. She went on vacation for 5 days, then she's on vacation for another 2 weeks.
Yeah. I was prepared to do a podcast. I had a whole set list built last week.
I know. You sent it last minute.
Yeah. I didn't really want to do it anyway. But.
I figured. All right. What are we doing?
All right. Go to Hot Zone. Hot Zone. Yeah, this first one's local. I heard about this on the radio. In between stories of Russia colliding with America.
Colliding.
Yeah. It's
when I read this,
yeah. God dang.
I was highly irritated, and then today. So
did you even I had to search for this too because I heard him talking about it on the radio, and then I look it up.
Well, I saw it on your computer. Whenever you sent a picture of. You text a picture of your computer, and that story was on there.
What did I send on my computer to you guys? Everyone's fucking picking apart my
desktop
about what I was listening to. I've been into 90s grunge music.
Yeah, I saw you had Jane's Addiction on there, and then
that was actually not what I was auto played to it, but it was.
But you're listening to Helmet tonight, which was
Helmet, yeah. And then that was what I was listening to was Mother Love Bone.
Mm-hmm.
You ever listen to them?
Yeah, Mother Love Bone. That was the band that made up of. It had I think some Alice in Chains members and maybe Soundgarden guy, but there was a different lead singer.
Wasn't Chris Cornell in there or something? I don't know. Anyway, maybe you listen to that song Stargazer. Sounds like, dude. It sounds. I mean, if Cannon was here, which he's gonna be, but he's got to take a nap or whatever.
He doesn't have narcolepsy. He's claiming it.
He'd say I'm being nostalgic, but it totally sounds like 1994, 93. It's a good song.
Takes you to that time in your life.
But anyway, so this article is titled, it's from KRMG.com, says Biological Weapons Simulation Test Planned in Oklahoma. So Newkirk is by the border of Kansas, and it says, the Department of Homeland Security announced the small town near the Kansas border will host a biological weapons simulation. In 2018, the department wants to release non-hazardous, non-toxic chemicals and biological materials on buildings in the area. They want to see what might happen if a terrorist were to release chemicals as a biological weapon. Residents say it worries them. I get sick to my stomach. I think if I'm going to test that stuff, let them go to Los Alamos. I think it's stupid. The biological test, the government plans to release genetic barcoded spores of an insecticide sold under the trade name of Dipel. Dipel is not considered hazardous by the EPA when handled appropriately. They said that the Republican Ron Estes of Kansas said he's monitoring the situation closely. That's like a fucking politician.
Hey, that's me. I'm monitoring.
What do you think about the biological and biological test? And my people and I were monitoring the situation closely. And we're going to make sure that we stand for what the people need in that area. And
protect
them. Make sure that we watch over the citizens.
This is definitely helpful in the war on terror, and we want to help keep Americans safe. This is how we do it.
He said, while it's important for our federal agencies to test their abilities in response to threats, we need to be 100% certain this test is safe for the residents of South Central Kansas. He didn't say anything about Oklahoma. It's in fucking Oklahoma.
Well, he don't care. He's from Kansas.
The city of Arkansas City has also said it's reviewing media reports of the testing. It's the first time the city has been made aware of any testing to occur. Inert means chemically inactive, which by definition means there should be no risk to the citizens. However, we're looking into the situation to gather more information for our citizens and their safety.
So, all right.
Government's never made any mistakes.
When you sent that to me, immediately I'm like, well, there's going to fucking be a biological attack somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be within a couple days. So, and that was yesterday that you sent that, right? So today, when I'm driving home, I see a giant plane flying very low.
The AWACS.
Right, but I was like, it didn't look like an AWACS at first. I could see the thing on top, but it didn't look like a normal AWACS, and it was flying so low, dude, and fast, and it just made a big circle. And my daughter was in the car, and I was like, she's like, what are you looking at? And I was like, I'm looking at that plane. I said. She says, you don't like that plane? And I was like, not really. And then she says, how come? And I was like, it's a warplane. It doesn't need to be flying over the city. And it's flying around like this. It's real fast. And she's like, it's following us. I was like, oh, no. I'm starting my daughter out at the wrong age. It makes me mad. It just makes me mad.
I just assume it's listening to my phone call.
I hope he was listening to me talk to my daughter about it. But what makes me mad about those things is this. Like, it makes me mad that they fly fucking Blackhawks over the city. That makes me mad. It makes me mad that they fly...
Does it?
Yes, this makes me... There's a number of things... Makes me mad that they fly fast mover jets over the city when they do maneuvers and stuff. Like this. It makes me mad. The reason it makes me mad is because, just think... You've got plenty of terrain, plenty of place out there to fucking do all your shit. Just think if something malfunctions and that thing fucking... There's no reason for it, right? Like,
was that Guam when they had that missile that they accidentally dropped? And it was an inert missile.
The nerd round, yeah, but it landed.
No,
That was in Hawaii.
Yeah, somewhere. It like ended up in an apartment complex. Didn't kill anybody.
There was
one in Tulsa, wasn't there? Yeah, there's one in Tulsa.
There was one in Hawaii where a.
I
think it was they were doing. I don't think it was something that they fired. It was they were firing big artillery, and they were firing those dummy rounds. Where the fuck was that? It might have been fired from a ship. Anyways, I don't know why. It makes me angry. I just
when I saw those, actually, I was like, awesome, man.
I get angry.
I don't know. I like the way the stuff looks flying around and crap.
I mean,
it looks awesome.
It does,
like
but it makes me mad.
I like the Black Hawk and those Apaches flying over the other day. I'm like, dude, that's badass. And every time I see those F-16s flying over, I'm like, fucking cool. I wish I could fly one, but
I always be like, God, I get pissed. I'll be sitting in my office, and then my boss will be like, what's the matter? I'll be like, that fucking planes. I'm gonna get one of those. I'm turning into that guy.
I don't know. I don't have any issue with it, I guess.
But then I thought today, it was like, oh, well, there you go. There's that plane. Look what it's doing. It's dropping chemical agent out the back of it.
Dude, I thought for sure. Well, I can't find it. Anyway. So, yeah, that's happening in Oklahoma. I kind of thought the same thing. Like, what's perfect setup now for...
Breaking news. At least 3 people are dead and at least...
Is that the next one?
That's the next story.
Okay, so the next story, we kind of already talked about, is the shooting in Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
Guy gets into an argument with his neighbors that he's already stabbed one before.
Mm-hmm.
He shoots him up and then goes on a shooting spree and ends up getting killed by cops, right?
Yeah, so how does that work? There are a lot of crazy people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, so this guy, Kevin Jansen Neal, 43-year-old, he's a resident of Sacramento, right? Or not Sacramento, it's Corning, small town of Corning. He got arrested for stabbing some guy in February, right?
Yeah.
And then now he just decides to be like, well, fuck it.
Shit.
I lost my mind. I'm gonna just start shooting at schools.
Dude, do you ever? Yeah, exactly.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, I'm not trying to make sense of somebody, but of everything, right? Actually, I do try to make sense of everything because I want to understand why. And I think whenever you have something like this, and after it happens, I think that's really I think that's what helps us understand each other. But if you can try to figure out why something like this happened, then you can get to the root of the problem, right? You're not always gonna get it figured out, but it just doesn't make sense. Why the fuck would I'm just going to shoot at a school.
I can understand him shooting his neighbors because he's had an issue with his neighbors.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to go to school. Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, it almost feels like we're going to keep doing this shit one way or another until people get behind gun control.
I just don't want that switch to go off on me. Like,
dude,
where I'm like,
you say that because I was like
all of a sudden I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I was sitting there. I was sitting at work.
They flipped the switch.
And I was listening to a song. I was like, man, this is a good song, And I was like, it's crazy how a song you haven't heard in a long time can like take you back to wherever you are.
Right.
It's nostalgic Nick here talking.
Yeah, there you go.
And
you have Prince John hair from Robin Hood in the cartoon.
Yeah.
When you put the headphones on.
Prince John.
Let's show a picture. Keep going. Yes, how it's nostalgic.
No, I was thinking
take you back.
I thought, I was like, I wonder if that's what happens to some of these people if they're just sitting somewhere someday and there's some like nanoparticles or some sort of like I don't know, like some sort of like thing that triggers something in your mind where you automatically like, I'm gonna fucking shoot my neighbors and
And then just
go fucking ape. Have I used ape shit too much? Someone put it in the comments.
really.
Yeah, just go nuts, right? Like, it's just strange to me. Like, it makes me wonder. It's like that Manchurian Candidate thing, right? That's what my hair looks like.
Yeah, kind of.
Fucking lion.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Manchurian Candidate, and that's.
I've thought about that before with people that are like, there's no reason civilians should have this kind of weaponry or whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah, that guy probably shouldn't if he thinks it's cool to just shoot his neighbors because of whatever they're doing. Barbecue too close to my fence, or
They got a dog that keeps jumping over, and
okay, obviously that person shouldn't own firearms, right?
mm-hmm.
But I always want to say, like, do you feel like I'm going to do something like that? Do you feel that, because I feel like they'd be like, well, no, I don't think you would do that. Well, I wouldn't,
That's it, right? So where does it come from? I mean, we've talked about this on this show, maybe not on the YouTube channel, but on our podcast that that you download from iTunes, right? All the old episodes. I don't know if we've ever talked about, the SSRIs, right? So the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and how everybody's dosing themselves, and they're doing all this stuff. And so maybe could be, right? Like maybe there's just that right amount of chemical imbalance where they're just like, boop, boop, and no more. There's no more.
You think though?
I can't because I can't identify with it.
Than that, because
well, it has to be. No, it has to be.
Someone be like, I'm feeling lost today. Let's fucking murder some people.
No, I
think if it's something like that, I think it's more along the lines of, hey, look, we can activate this portion of these people's brains, however, through radio waves,
frequencies,
or trigger it with something like
fucking
a song.
Commercials.
Yeah, a song like. Holy shit.
But maybe it takes a combination of all that. Like maybe it might take a combination of, like, your brain has to be the levels of the chemical levels, the balance of those have to be weakened just enough, or have to be the right amount. And so by popping Lexapro or whatever the fuck it is,
Valtrex,
Valtrex, get rid of your brain herpes, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoop, and then you're switched on.
Man, you should be forced to take Valtrex alone. That's good. I don't know, man. I've thought that.
So you got to stay away from
music. Valtrex. I mean, really, I thought back to that video game, Call of Duty, where the number stations or whatever, like trigger him, where he's trying to kill Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah, the one where they're in they start out in Cuba.
Yeah. And every time I play that and I shoot Castro, I try to pause it to where I can look up that girl's nightgown. There's a vagina in there somewhere.
Or a Vergana.
Yeah.
Vagana. That was funny what you said.
I'm going to put my ass in your asshole. Anyway, yeah, man, I that's weird that you say that, because I thought the same thing too. Like, well, shit, maybe there's some switch that... I mean, because I get fucking pissed driving.
Mm-hmm.
I get pissed working on stuff, like angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I never once have been like, God damn it, you fucking asshole, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? It's just like, God damn it, you fucking asshole. And that's where it ends,
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the road. You can't fucking drive. Did I blow your mind with that?
No, I'm trying to have something like that. Yes. I'm just trying to think like that.
Speaking of road rage, so I was driving here.
Did you have road rage?
I laughed at myself. Driving here and completely had my head up my ass in that yield that comes on the Memorial off the turnpike. There's no yield lane. It should be,
Oh,
I
yeah.
fucking pulled out in front of the person, like, oh shit, they're coming up behind me. So I floored that old truck. It looked like Spy Hunter, man. There's fucking smoke pouring out. I was dying laughing. It's good. But I was like, hey, that's that shit you always hear those old timers say, like, you gotta open her up every once in a while, get the cobwebs out of it. So I got
It blew the cobwebs out.
Yeah, blew them off the.
Well done. Well done. Truck doesn't need valve tracks.
No, cleaned out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this next article from the Huffington Post, cutting edge news source. It's titled "Filipinos Aren't Happy with This White Woman Claiming to be a Filipina." So you're gonna have to bring the video up over here.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
All I'm gonna say is we're getting out of control here. This is Jadu, says she loves Philippine food and music, enjoys TV shows on Philippine culture. So, you know.
Wait, I didn't see this one.
Yeah. So this Filipino woman, this white woman, because she likes Philippine food and music and enjoys TV shows on Philippine culture, she's a Filipino.
Is that how it works now?
Hand down. Let's get a picture of
Yeah,
this.
that's looks like Chris Farley. Chris Farley's a better looking dude or a better looking woman than that.
So, So a white woman's self-proclaimed transracial identity has sparked discussion and some confusion among people of Filipino heritage.
Look at this Illuminati stuff over here. 33 bizarre brides that actually walked down the aisle.
The woman who told HuffPost she identifies as transgender is in the process of legally changing her name to Jadu. Recently told the news station in Tampa, Florida that she identifies as Filipina. She's started a Facebook group for others who identify as transracial.
This is amazing. You can become transracial now.
I think things that make no sense to most people make sense to us on an individual level in almost every person. Like a swelling feeling you feel when you listen to dramatic music.
Uh-huh.
Jadu told HuffPost in an online message, all sound and vibration, but something that relates to your soul on such a subconscious level that you connect with it, and that's how I feel about the Filipino culture. So why not become a Filipino? Like, fuck it. I'm Filipina, and I'm also a woman. Like, fuck, dude. Where does it stop?
It's stop. I think.
I mean,
you know what?
Just
hit me. Just hit me.
Hold on.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what this guy or girl does. He wants to say he's Filipino or whatever. Like, have at it. But the thing is when you're sitting there talking about this, like, this is just like, you know, like, hey, can I get a ham and cheese on rye? And I'm also a woman, and I'm Filipino now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? How's that? Well, because I want to be. Because I feel like I like the music. You know what I liked when I was growing up? Ninjas. I'm not Japanese. Like, I loved ninjas. When that movie 300 came out, I was depressed that I wasn't born in that era. I wanted to be a Spartan. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a fucking Spartan. I wasn't born in fucking ancient Greece.
Uh-huh. I have an answer to your question. Are you ready?
Yes.
You said, where does it stop? So how many people out there do you think feel like that?
What?
When's it going to stop? When the fuck is it going to stop, right? I'll tell you what's going to happen. It just struck me. I'll tell you when it's going to happen. Because what's
dramatic silence?
I'm trying to work it out in my head. But what it is, all it is.
Best steak in the world.
Fuck off. That steak was good the first time. Okay, well, I think I know what it is. I'm trying to get it straight in my head because it just hit me. But all it is hijacking of definitions, right? That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a hijacking of a definition. So consensus says that we've come to the understanding that the word man means what? Or male, right? Male means that you have two testicles, you got a dick, and you're able to
That's not the case anymore.
No, okay, but that's the consensus, and that's science, right? So the science, so we've agreed that the word male means that, right? Mm-hmm. So the hijacking of all the definitions, and I do believe that it is intentional, right? But it's intentional to get the reaction out of normal thinking people, or not normal, of people that are logical thinking individuals to get the reaction, an emotional reaction out of them to say exactly what you said. When is it going to stop? When are we going to fucking stop doing this? When are we going to stop? When is this all going to stop? And we're going to, people that aren't, that don't, that might be logical thinking but still look to the government to save them are going to say, let's legislate it. And then what happens is then you have it's basically newspeak, right? So then it's, or whatever, then the government has complete control to own words, right? Like you're in complete control of all of the definitions. Oh no, good doesn't mean good, it means bad. And you're like, fuck! And they can change it on you, right? At that point. You're in complete control of all of the definitions. What? Do you understand? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when is it going to stop?
I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous that someone
That's my theory.
say, you know, I just on a subconscious level connect with, you know, Iranian culture. So I'm basically fucking
You're
Iranian.
a Persian?
I mean, can you imagine dealing with someone like that on...
No.
You know, so say you were... Where the fuck do they ask you your race? Or
At
like
work.
you're at the doctor's office and like, you know, what race are you? Oh, I'm Filipino. Excuse me? I'm a Filipino. Oh, really? Were you born there? No, I was born in Detroit, actually. Are your parents Filipino? No. They're from fucking Poland.
Yeah.
How are you Filipino?
Oh, well, I like the
I just
music.
like the music.
And I
And
like
I'm
to
a
watch
woman.
this.
Oh, I'm a woman too. Like,
Forgot it. Is it not obvious?
Like, hey man, cut it out. You could, you know, you do whatever you want, but I gotta fill this shit out. You know, like I'm a doctor. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, cut the shit. I don't get it. Like, in Huffington, if you read that article in Huffington Post, it talks about it just like I'm saying, like it's some guy ordering a ham sandwich at a diner. Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Uh-huh.
The problem is with the Filipino people saying that the white person's stealing part of their culture without going through any of the hardships that the Filipino culture has gone through. Like, you guys have at it.
You know what made
it. You can have him or her. He could be Filipino or male or woman or American, whatever the fuck he wants. Just.
Do you know what? Like if I think back, like what opened the door to this? You know what opened the door to it? The government getting involved and wanting to know like all that shit. Like, what's your race? What's this? What's that? What's this? What's this? What's that? What's that? Now, if it's a private business and they want to know that shit, they're like, fine, fuck it. I'll tell you what it is. And if I walk into the private business and I tell them that I'm fucking Filipino, right? Mm-hmm. And they obviously look at me and they're like, this fucking guy's crazy. He's not Filipino or a woman. I'm not going to hire you. No, I'm just saying that opens the door to it, right? Because now it's like, oh, if...
Well, the door's being opened big time now because it's like, well, how do you identify? Like, what do you mean, how do I identify? Are you a man or a woman? Are you cisgendered? Are you a they? Like...
And then it will be, and you'll have to meet that.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I really don't know what's...
With, you know?
What does cisgendered mean? Didn't we have a
dick
text?
And balls.
Cisgender means...
No, I said finish mine.
What does... Because didn't we have a conversation?
I don't know. I can't keep up with all the genders now, apparently.
Here we go.
The people that are fluid, that like float back and forth. That's what I want to be. God dang, did you see that girl walking into the locker room? I'm a woman today. Go in there and change clothes. Went from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Like,
okay, so cisgendered means that you just... Wait.
It probably won't even fucking make sense when you read it.
Okay, no, it just means that you
Here's the thing. Is
denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity or gender corresponds with their birth sex.
I'm like Jack Burton, man. What the hell does that mean, huh? China is here. I don't even know what the hell that means. I was going blank. I was going to say. I had a good... It was loaded up, ready to deliver, and I fucking totally forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
What was it? No, well. It's just, I don't know, man. Crazy.
Alright. So to be honest with you, though...
Wait, I almost got it.
Okay, good. I'm trying to get you there. I don't have a problem with people.
Oh.
There it is.
Yeah, so
Perfect time to interrupt me.
Yeah. Do you see, like, say you're out in the woods hunting or on a nature walk and just, like observing nature?
Yeah, I already know where you're going.
You see a raccoon walk around and he's like,
hey, what's up,
hey,
buddy?
buddy, I'm a fox.
Don't fuck
Why?
with me.
I just like the way they look.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. It's kind of, I mean, like...
I get it, man.
It just,
I get
for
it.
people to say that that's not a mental issue blows my mind, because obviously it's got something to do with your head, right? Even if you're saying like, hey, look, I was born this way, like something's not those two things aren't lined up or whatever.
Right.
So
no, I agree with that. It's like the lady Katie that was on our show, right?
Someone was asking about her the other day.
Katie, they asked what her name was, right?
Yeah, who was that?
I think that was while I was in Mexico and I couldn't text back, right? But her name was, so for anybody that was wanting that information, is Katie Rain Wilson, right? That was she's transgender, right?
Absolute chaos out here. Gale force winds, accumulation.
Good.
But
sorry.
No, it's okay. So people that do identify that way, right? It doesn't affect me until it affects me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
mean, that's
care.
If you saw that raccoon walking through the woods and was like, "Hey, nah,
I'm a fox."
You're like, "You're fucking crazy."
Crazy raccoon.
Thinks he's a fox.
Oh, anyway. All right, next story. I feel like we're gonna offend someone. This one will offend people. From HuffingtonPost.com. Pope Francis got a brand new white and gold Lamborghini.
What are you doing?
Built just for him.
What are you doing? You're just setting these up for your wife to hate.
What's the deal with all the?
I don't do it anymore.
No. The reporters. Anytime you watch something, you always hear the cameras clicking. Are people using actual film still? Like, yeah. Did you watch the thing the other day?
No, they just got to dub that in.
They said Donald Trump was having a hard time doing the man-on-man jack-off session in the Asia Pacific tour, where he's like hugging both the guys or whatever next to him.
Skiing.
Laughing at my little joke. Anyway. Like in the background, all you hear is like. I guess digital cameras make that same noise, but.
Why do they need to make that noise? To let you know they took the picture?
I don't know. Whatever that.
I want to get.
My wife has and makes that noise.
Does it? Maybe you should get one of those ones with where it has the big flash, like the old bulbs. Yeah.
Dude, I used to have a flash that I'd run around the house with.
The ones that with the snap on the camera?
Yeah.
Oh,
shit. My dad's, and I'd run around and he'd flick it on and you could hear it charging and you'd turn it off and flash.
Mm-hmm.
Just flash people with it. Yeah, so Pope Francis got a major vehicle upgrade on Wednesday when luxury car company Lamborghini stopped by the Vatican to drop off the Pontiff's sweet new ride.
Mm-hmm.
Francis, who typically uses Fiats and Fords to get around, was gifted a special edition Lamborghini Huracan. Yeah, Huracan. That was painted in the Vatican's signature colors of gold and white. The Pope blessed the car.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed the Lamborghini.
Well done.
Outside of the Casa Santa Marta, the Vatican guest house where he lives. He also signed the car's hood. But Francis doesn't have any plans to drive around the streets of the Vatican in his new ride. He's selling the car with the help of an auction house. The car usually sells for around $226,000 American. So he's expecting to bring much more and organize. He said the money will go with some Catholic charitable organizations. One of these groups helps rebuild the homes and churches of Iraqi Christians who have been persecuted by so-called Islamic State.
I like how they throw the so-called.
Yeah. I think the Pope should drive that fucking Lamborghini.
It would probably go for more money if he actually drove it. Think about that for a minute. If he hopped in it and fucking just did burnouts, in the Vatican, and then they'd be like, "Oh shit,
fucking you had donuts in the parking lot in this Lamborghini.
we're selling
You know
it,
what
we're
happened.
auctioning it."
And I'm just gonna go out in here.
Uh-huh.
The Pope would drive that straight into the wall on accident. It'd be one of those viral YouTube videos where he like launches it.
Do you think he knows how to drive anymore?
No.
Like he gets carted around, right? He's been getting carted around since Argentina, right? Isn't that where he's from?
I don't know, but that is it a Fiat, that car with the bulletproof glass? That's the nerdiest
The
car.
bubble.
Yeah, that's the nerdiest car. He should be in a Lamborghini, I think. I think he should roll it. And he also, I mean, he reminds me of the guy from the VW commercials that
VW.
So I could see him like tapping the steering wheel.
Uh-huh.
What's up, my brothers? Let's go for riding my Lamborghini. Oh, I guess he's not Russian.
No, but that's okay. He's Argentinian, isn't he?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure.
I would buy that Pope's car if he was doing donuts. That'd be like a Seinfeld episode instead of whose car was that?
I don't know.
Not Rob Lowe. Anyway, they bought that car, and he's like, "This is Rob Lowe's car," or whoever it is. It's like, he didn't drive this car, or whatever. I can't remember.
Rob Lowe.
Is Rob Lowe alive?
Yeah, he looks the same as he's always looked. Actually, he probably looks younger. It's from all the blood that he drinks. All his Hollywood elite. Even though he's not elite.
Hollywood? Yeah,
He's Hollywood, like...
middle. He could probably be on this podcast.
He's probably working his way down to this podcast.
Gotta catch
Rob
him at the
Lowe?
end. Yeah, if you're listening.
If you're
man,
listening.
we'll have you.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
What are you talking about, though? What movie's Rob Lowe been in?
He was in Tommy Boy. He's funny in that. He was in Outsiders. He was he Soda Pop? No. Yeah, he was Soda Pop. No. Yeah.
No. Outsiders, all I think of is...
Patrick Swayze was in Outsiders. Rob Lowe. Emilio Estevez.
Ralph Macchio.
Tom Cruise. Ralph Macchio.
Diane Lane.
What's Chomper's name? Pay up, Chompers.
Oh, yeah, I
Chompers.
like that guy.
Matt Dillon. Or yeah.
You know, my wife's cousin met all them while they were here filming that at the mall. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Mm-hmm. All right, so this next article, HuffingtonPost.com, 6 things millennials bring up the most in therapy. Have you ever been to therapy?
Yes. When I was
therapy?
when I was like 10.
Yeah,
It's a great story. Here you go.
This is the worst fucking chair in the world.
No.
Let's see if I can get my back pocket.
It's called a barrel chair. Your back?
Ship.
No. That's a barrel chair. So my stepdad went to prison, right? When I was like 10, I think is what it was. He went multiple times, but might have been 11, maybe 12, right in that area, right? So it was, everybody said, oh, you need to take the kids, told my mom, you need to take the kids to therapy, and they'll do individual session with them, and it was provided, I think, it was provided by the state, right? Fantastic. So we go. Fucking therapist is obviously a weird dude. In my head, even at that time, I was like, I still looked up to adults, and I was always like, oh, I was very well mannered, very polite, very sweet young boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the therapist said, told my mom, he said, there's no child on this earth that is as good as your son. He said everything that doesn't, he holds in way too much.
Stand up and say, that's what I was on here. I'm fucking out of here.
Here's what he said. He holds in way too much. Either by the time he's 25, he'll either have killed a whole bunch of people, or he'll be in jail. Right?
Just once you get on the Valtrex, you're one step closer.
Yeah, that's what he told my mom. Fuck, could you imagine with that knowledge, right? Like, And we obviously never went back again. My mom at least had sense enough to know that it was fucking crazy. That just goes to show you what those lunatics do, right? Like, the fuck does he know? You know?
It's like the weather. The guys are like, oh, it's going to be warm weather.
I made it 18 years past 25. Is that how many? That's a long time, dude. So I'm all right.
So these are the six things millennials bring up the most in therapy.
All right.
Number 1, I can't make a decision. What if I make the wrong decision? You think that's specific to millennials? Like everyone worries about making the wrong decision.
Fuck yeah.
That's why it's a decision.
That's why it's a decision, and you fuck up. What?
Number 2.
All right.
I have difficulty saying no, especially to my parents. Yeah, that's not specific to millennials either, right?
No.
Right, number 3. Will I ever make enough money to start a life with my partner?
I mean, isn't that what anybody thinks, though, at a young age, whenever they think about their future? Maybe not a life, but they're like a future. Like, fuck, well, I don't know. You know, I mean, are we going to be able to make it?
I don't know. I can see this because I feel like a lot of people from the generation, like a little after mine or whatever, like, you're fed this line of, you know, go to college and, you know, be rich. Are we recording this?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
But, you know, it's kind of like I was watching this video on YouTube the other day. It was called, I don't know what it was. It was funny. This guy goes around and drinks and talks to drunk people, and it was called Big Dick or Big Wallet. So he goes up to these girls, and he's like, Big Dick, Big Wallet.
Oh, okay.
And they have to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one girl is like, Big Dick. You know, but one of them's drunk as shit. Yeah. Like, big old dick. It's funny, man. But this chick's like, Big Dick because I'm going to make my own money. I'm going to university right now for psychology, so... Dude, then they got that Iranian talk show that goes like,
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? I mean, we'll watch it after this, but...
Okay.
You know, it's talking about, like, I'm majoring in psychology and I'm going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people, I mean, I know a lot of people that went to college for, like, you know, basket weaving. You know, with the expectation of, like, all I got to get is a 4-year degree, and then, you know, I'm golden, right? Got my degree, I'm going to be making $80,000 a year 2 years after I'm out of college, you know?
Right.
It's not the case.
No.
But I do believe that was kind of like the story, because I remember hearing it in high school, you know, because I never even planned on going to fucking college.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, go to college, you'll be successful. Go to college, you'll be successful. You know, and then people go and they spend all this fucking time in college racking up student debt.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, like, well, I don't have any money. But, I mean, I feel like that's just, if you're alive, you're going to be worried about money unless you're just one of those people that's just like,
yeah.
Hey, here's your golden spoon or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 4, I feel helpless about all that's going on in the world. Yeah, I guess I'm just so apathetic anymore that I just like, oh, fucking happening. What are you going to do? Number 5, I feel like a fraud. I don't feel like a fraud, but...
What does that mean?
Millennials have grown up in a comparison culture and endlessly wonder if their real lives, the ones lived off social media, stack up to others. See, that's where I don't give a fuck where I stack up compared to anybody else. Like, I seriously think if someone came up and asked, you know, like, are those shoes, are those LA Gear?
Yeah. Are those kids?
Fucker. They're LA Gears. What's the fucking problem? Those are cheap. Or, you know, those don't cost that much.
Do you shop at Ross?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even shop. Where am
I? Yeah.
I'm gonna wear it, you know. Like, Are those Dep jeans you have on? Yes. Those are women's jeans.
Fuck.
I didn't know that. Fuck, man. But I do not care.
No,
if you drive a better car than me, or
me neither. Here's the thing that I like.
Do care about is the fact that your weights are going up. That bothers me.
That does bother you. Wait till you come back. If you come back next week,
I can't. I'm injured.
I'm about to do 225 on overhead press. So it's military.
My joints are...
No, what I don't care about, or what I do care about, like I don't care about stacking up against somebody else. What I do care about is security within my family, like wanting to make it a life easier and less worrisome in the future. And then, so my daughter, obviously, you want that for your children, to not have to worry about the same things that you worried about. However, they probably still will, but make it easier. Like, isn't that the ultimate goal?
Well, I mean, and I've thought about that before. Like, I've got I don't want my kid to be walking around in, like, fancy ass clothes, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna give a shit what kind of shirt they have on. I mean, I guess when they get older, they'll tell you, but like, yeah, this shirt's not whatever, American Eagle or whatever's popular. Like,
Target. This shirt's not Target.
Yeah. All right, we'll get some Target shirts.
Mm-hmm.
This says the incessant stream of social media updates and humble brags make it practically impossible to stay in your own lane and go your own speed.
The fuck is a humble brag?
Anytime I see this stuff on Facebook,
what is
or
that?
Anything, it's it's people that like, oh look, my husband bought me a new car, or oh look, I bought a brand new house. It's humongous or whatever.
Okay.
Anytime I see people doing that, there's this one. And, I haven't been on Facebook in a while, but
apparently you have.
I got on there last week or something. I can't remember. But anyway,
so I haven't.
It was a while back. I even showed my wife because I was embarrassed for the girl. She's talking about, like her credit card status, like I got the American Express Platinum or the Black. And I've got the Delta Diamond Rewards miles, so I fly first class wherever I go, and just post it on there like what are you supposed to say? Like,
wow,
yeah, good job. I looked through your pictures here, and I noticed you're by yourself. Like obviously you're not very happy, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I could never be like, why am I not Delta Diamond? Why do I not have a American Express Platinum? Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Except, I do take that back. I don't want one of those fancy coffee makers.
I saw that coffee maker.
$2,000 fucking dollars.
I was like,
I was talking to my brother about it yesterday, and he's like, you probably spend that much a year on coffee, and I was like, yeah. He was like, no, I don't spend $2,000 a year on fucking coffee.
Your brother thinks you spend $2,000 a year on coffee.
But I want one because it's like, push it, grinds the beans, make sure you can make.
You gotta have your own room for that coffee maker, though. Where would you?
I need one.
And you fucking can't be drinking that swill. You've got to start browning or roasting your own beans.
I probably would if I talked to your old buddy.
Monopoly man.
Yeah, I want to find that.
That guy was he was one of those status guys.
So I lied. I want a coffee machine. Better.
But is it because your neighbor has one, or not your neighbor, but whoever it is that has one, or is it just because you like coffee?
It's not because they have one.
And so then it's not. Then you're not. It's not about stacking up against that. It's because you fucking. I don't know why you want to spend that much money. Like, hey, look at my $2,000 coffee machine. That tastes like my Keurig.
I mean, I know what you would think. Be like, why the fuck would you spend $2,000 on a coffee?
Yeah, but that's something that you like.
You can get a PBS 14 night vision for that much money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean that. I don't know.
You've seen what I sent you.
If I did buy it, and I knew it was $2,000, and I knew people would see it and be like, why the fuck would he spend that much money? But I don't care because that's what I want. I'm not doing it to impress other people or to like
bring everybody over.
Like,
look at my $2,000 coffee
I want you to
machine.
you need to see why I wanted this. No, I got it because I wanted it. But I'm not going to buy one. Just so everyone knows. Not right now.
Well, I kind of wanted to taste the coffee out of it.
We can go to those people's house that have one.
I don't trust that. You've seen the picture.
Woozy.
Yeah. And then we see the actual $2,000 machine they break out.
All right, number 6. My anxiety is
multiple
interfering
attachments
with my life. Dude, everyone's anxiety.
Yes, I mean I'm anxious about things.
I get anxious about going to work sometimes.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm anxious about the beginning of the new year. That's fucking weird, but I'm anxious like, oof. It's because I feel like I get anxious, man. I get anxious about stupid stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And I can't go to sleep at night. I lay there and do this.
Stomach hurts in it.
You know what I do when I get anxious?
Masturbate.
Yes.
God damn, I'm anxious.
I'll be right back. Woo! I was anxious.
Still anxious. Sleepy though. Alright. What do you do when you're anxious? Is that when you tie that blindfold around your eyes real tight?
Yeah. How did you know that?
You told me to do it when I get the Jimmy legs.
Yeah, I'll do that, and if I'm still anxious, I'll leave the bed, obviously, because I'm fucking up somebody else's sleep, right? Because I'm constantly tossing and turning and tossing. So I go into the couch, and I turn on the TV, but I turn it on at a volume that it's so low, dude, that it's just like I have to almost strain myself to hear it. But when I do that, for some reason, it's like, oh, I can't hear it. I can't hear it. And then I just fall asleep. But it's enough noise to distract my brain from. Because it's stupid stuff that I'm anxious over. There's no way that I can solve it. You know?
Yeah, it's pointless anyway.
Yeah, I might be anxious about something from work and be like, oh, fuck, I can't change this till tomorrow morning anyways.
Whoops. All right. I'm going to skip the Blake Shelton article.
What was the...
It was People magazine named him the sexiest man alive. I guess most people are mad about it.
Why?
Because he had some tweets about gay people years ago or something. So.
Oh, you can't be the sexiest man alive and...
Yeah. The Facebook... Alright, so FoxNews.com also said there's an article talking about Facebook boasts removing fake news in Germany, but journalists aren't so sure. I'm real worried this is what you're talking about a couple of years ago, how they're going to start saying like, look, there's a lot of information out here. We need the Minister of Information to let you know what's real and what's not.
Didn't I send you guys a link the other day
I didn't read it. Unless it's a GIF of some naked woman that's coming across on that text, it's not getting clicked on.
Yeah, it was a guy from fucking NSA. Said the only thing that's worse than having no information out there is too much information. This is what it was, an interview. I was watching it on my lunch break. He said the only thing that's worse than no information out there is too much information. We've got to start regulating this. That's what he said. So it's coming true, exactly what we've said 2-3 years ago.
At what point in time are you as an individual responsible for your reactions based on what you read? Real or not? Like, you know what, this seems a little untrue, so I'm going to look into it a little further, right? Not just like, but it says it. MSNBC says Donald Trump has trouble with water bottles.
If it's he can't handle water bottles. He must not be able to handle
CNN
water.
said that, he dumped a whole gallon of 55-gallon drum of oil in the koi pod with the prime minister or whatever, basically just shit on all the tradition there, and he did exactly what the prime minister of Japan did, right? But CNN reported it because like we've said here before, they report stuff what angle they want you to take, right? So I mean, what are we gonna have, the North Korean news agency here now? Whoa, you can't read that unless it comes from, .gov. And then you're going to have news handed to you how they want you to hear it, right?
Give me the story. Give me the story about what happened with
Donald Trump. Dude, the reporting on Donald Trump's hilarious because it says the Huffington Post reported on it, and CNN reported on it, said that Donald Trump like fucked up the visit with the Prime Minister of Japan because they were feeding koi out of this little box, like throwing food out there, right? And CNN said, or sent a video that showed the Prime Minister like flicking it out, and it was edited. And it showed Donald Trump like just dumping his entire thing in there, right? Which, you know, was funny because it fits the whole thing.
The whole narrative of like he's like Homer.
Like, that's how you feed him. I feed him like this, you know. And well, it turns out that the Prime Minister, they're both flicking food out there, and the Prime Minister dumps his out, and then Donald Trump dumps his out, right?
So you know what's funny to me?
So they're like, look at this idiot. And so these major news sources are like, take off on the story, and then when we play the entire video unedited, they did the exact same thing, right? But all the comments, all the people that hate the guy, and you know, because the media hates him,
right?
Like, you know, look at this. He doesn't even follow customs. You know, he's so stupid. Fucking guy drinks that water out of a bottle. You know.
What's funny to me is like all those guys that are handled, right? Like the presidents that are all handled, and then they go do these visits. It's what's funny to me is like, and it goes the same way when they come here. They'll have to like the Japanese prime minister will throw out a baseball at a baseball game. What's funny to me is that all that stuff, like he's like, oh, okay, I've got to go do this now. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, I've got to go do this. Scripted. It's all staged, and you're like, okay, Mr. President, you got to stand right here and flick this out like this. Okay, let's do this. You know what's, like, to me?
You remember the...
that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, what? Just... You're wasting fucking time doing stupid shit like that, number one. If you want to go feed some fucking fish, feed the fish, but, oh no, you need to stand right here by the bridge. Okay.
Well, we're gonna have some reporters. Some pictures, you guys. The Prime Minister will start fishing. Then, Mr. President, you finish feeding the fish. Then we'll finish up here. We'll do some handshakes and take a few more pictures. Then we'll move over here. So let's move over here. We get the fish fed. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna get a picture with you with the lady Prime Minister and.
Then we have a hot dog eating contest.
Like how you guys pointing, you know, looking around. I watched the video because it was doing the same thing. They were making fun of him at the Asia tour, right? Because he couldn't do the double jack-off session handshake or whatever. Well, then, you know, this article, I think it was on InfoWars, actually.
All right.
It said, you know, Obama had a instance where he fucked up a handshake, and it was Justin Trudeau, Obama, and someone else in Canada. And it wasn't as bad as like fucking Trump's. Like Trump's was pretty fucked up, but I mean, it's like, who the fuck cares? This guy messed up a handshake. Like
I do it all the time.
Yeah. So and then it's got Obama, and he's like, you know, fucks up a handshake. Who the fuck cares? But what bothered me the most was like they're all sitting there, and you know, Justin Trudeau's like in the background, and then. They turn around, they put their hands in their pockets, they're pointing, and they're all talking to each other, pointing like this. I was like, that's like the fucking fake YouTube ad about the, you know, Joseph smell my farts or whatever. I'm like, I'll take some pictures, or here's a video of me pointing at things with old people. You know? Like,
the politician.
What the fuck are you guys pointing at? But yeah, dude, that stuff's so scripted. It reminds me, you remember when you're in the military and they're like, hey, Master Chief of the Navy's going to be here next week, so we gotta, you know, get the base in ship shape. Like, all right. So the Master Chief shows up, and it's this entire fucking play. No one's doing anything like it's day-to-day business. It's like this fucking shined up turd, right? Like the guy's got to know, like, this is not what this is like. You know what I mean?
But everywhere he goes, it's like that.
Yeah.
But the fucking Navy is.
Wow, man. You guys put armor all on all your tires?
It's much different than whenever I was. It's like we were fucking off, wrecking our.
Yeah, we were ramping these places. But I mean, the funny thing is, people see those just like those fishing things. Like he didn't know what he's doing. Like this is all directed by somebody. You know?
Yes.
Slide over here, sir. No, face this way. This way. Thank you. Okay. Back up. Well, in that video too. Like you're saying, it's got him throwing fish out. And there's this fucking guy, Japanese dude. He's like, and then people start fucking clapping. You know, Like,
did they do a hot dog eating contest?
Fucking pissed actually saying, ladies and gentlemen, please clap.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's about to pull a sword out.
Both of them, both the Japanese and the Germans, they both sound that way.
Angry.
Fucking
good.
just.
Cool though, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one that doesn't sound cool to me is Danish talking.
Or French.
The Danish, I still go back to that video I watched, Locked Up Abroad, or prisons throughout the world or something. I can't remember. It was on National Geographic, and then this Danish prison, and that lady or the guy had to go between a review board, and it's got all these Danes up there, and then they start talking, and like, like I couldn't take it seriously, you know, like. What?
Like, how did it become so far or so distant from all of the language that are around it? They're like, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, guys. Germans sound like this. The French sound like this. The Brits sound this way. Fuck it. We got to come up with something completely different. Yeah, but you know what it is? They're those fucking the tall whites.
White giants.
Yeah, the tall whites. It's their aliens. It's their alien language.
All right, let's go to DickTarian.
All right. Oops. Pushed the wrong button. Oh, shit.
That works perfectly. What is that?
That's that. That's the old. The guy who became a politician.
Yeah.
This is his.
Yeah, but what's the song for?
I forgot. It's been on there. It's called Up.
That should be the DickTarian intro. Alright. Pan out. I love your meat. Alright, so this is from FoxNews.com. Missouri girl, 14, faces social media bullying after shooting elk she mistook for a buck.
What?
Okay, a 14-year-old Missouri girl spotted giant antlers and pulled the trigger thinking she had just nabbed a white-tailed buck, only to discover the animal was an elk.
Oh, man.
An innocent mistake that some social media users have bullied her about, her father said. Abby Wilson was hunting in Boone County when she spotted an animal with antlers and brown fur Saturday. She fired a rifle, shooting and killing what she thought was a buck. She called her dad, who was hunting nearby, and her dad realized it was an elk. The dad called the agent of the Boone County, Missouri Department of Conservation and said, "We think we just shot an elk." He added, "She saw antlers, she saw the body, she thought it was a deer and took the shot." This young girl probably never seen an elk in the wild before. The father sent him a picture. He admitted he was surprised to see the dead elk carcass. You don't expect to see something like that. Donald White, father, his daughter's been bullied by adults on social media for the accident. He said the crazy incident has led to hatred towards a child. This is the part.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Everyone is a keyboard hero these days. 75% people who said nothing at all and left the elk or took it home. And the conservation would have never known. When I put my post up on Facebook, yes, I was an excited dad, and also I wanted to make people aware that there was an elk in northern Missouri. There's no hunting season for elk in Missouri. The state's conservation department reintroduced the animal at Peck Ranch Conservation Area in 2011 and is currently growing a herd. However, the elk Wilson shot was about 200 miles away from the herd. There are no reports of elk in this area. It's kind of surprised us. There's no evidence to the meat, ear tags, or collars on this one. So they, they took it out. They're gonna donate the meat, test it, try to figure out where it came from. But here's what kills me: it's true, right? That guy, everyone's a keyboard warrior. Everyone's got some reason to be offended by something or someone, right? You know what? I'm more proud of the fact there's a 14-year-old girl out hunting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What? So they're just fucking with her on there?
I'm sure they're saying that.
That's crazy hatred and stuff like that.
She should have known. I can hear all the fucking elitists like, you never pull the trigger when you're hunting unless you're sure of your target. Like, it's a fucking animal with antlers.
With antlers
in the woods,
and you're 14, and it's fucking.
It
looks like a big deer.
Yeah.
I mean.
So yeah, it's a mistake, right? I mean, they did what's the right thing, I guess. Called the conservation office. But like, I'd be more worried than the fact that there's 14-year-olds running around that never stepped foot in the woods or wouldn't know the first thing about shooting an animal or butchering or providing food for yourself or your family. But yeah, people think it's their their duty to right the wrongs via a Facebook post or whatever. Like, what do you really think you're doing when you like say something that
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's a picture of my daughter with an elk in Missouri. Crazy, right? Oh, she shouldn't have done that. I mean, I didn't read the post or anything, but I can just...
Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, next one. Ode to Women. This isn't really an Ode to Women. You should just play that same song again.
I got another one then.
I cannot believe that is
tennis.
Yeah. Alright, that's from HuffingtonPost.com. You're going to have to pull the video up.
Okay.
Soccer player insists racist slant-eye gesture toward South Korean team was misinterpreted. Colombian soccer player Edwin Cardona has addressed the racist gesture he made during a recent game against the South Korean team, insisting he meant no respect. So the guy gets in an argument. Not that part. Go down. Hold on before you do this. Guy gets in what I guess is considered a fight in soccer.
Okay.
Or
I'm not sure.
Foul or whatever.
Okay.
In soccer, and then makes slant eye movement towards the Korean team, and then said it was misinterpreted. Yeah, obviously he said he didn't mean disrespect by it, right?
Slant eye movement.
He did this to the guy, and then the guy's Korean. And he said,
You do that like when you're in 4th grade.
Okay, but now this is an ode to women. You'll have to watch a YouTube video. So go ahead and press play.
Okay.
전반전 11분, 후반전 16분. 자, 기성 뺏겠습니다. 다음에 불러드리겠습니다. 자, 기성용.
Hey, wait.
자, 기성용. 자, 기성.
I gotta go back.
Fuck. No problem.
Okay.
No connection. No connection. They're both injured. Look.
He just fell down too.
Like, is this what soccer is about?
Yes. It's called flopping.
Like, you just act like you're a bitch?
It's like become a. Here's the deal. It's almost like, from what I gather, it's kind of like in hockey, right?
Go back. I mean, this is pathetic. The guy looks pathetic.
Oh, my calf.
Click on that spot that you're on. That was perfect. A little more. Yeah, there we go. It didn't even get close, even if it did. I mean, it's by his chest.
Right there. There's nothing.
No connection. But I'm gonna act like you hit me in the eyes. Oh, my eyes! It's pathetic.
All right. So what the deal is in soccer, it's become accepted to flop. Okay, so like they, from what I understand, so the best acting, because you try to get a penalty, and it's accept like in hockey, it's acceptable to fight, right?
But those are real fights, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying what it is like it's not broke up. Like the refs are like, all right, yeah, they get to let them fight for like,
yeah,
and so soccer just goes the complete other direction. Like we're just bitches.
I would be completely. I've seen those videos of those, people getting blasted in the ass with like canned cool air or whatever. Like spraying them in the butt crack with that cold air. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, it's like, what do you mean? That's like when dogs are fighting, you put your finger in the butt. These guys, they
get canned air.
Canned air.
I don't know, but I just, if someone told me to do that, like I can't play the sport, guys. Sorry, that looks. I mean, that guy looked pathetic. Even the expression on his face angers me because he looks like such a bitch. And I heard he's like one of the best soccer players in the world right now or something. But still, man, I've got zero respect for the guy because of this. Like, ow! It's horrible. This guy's little. Look at this guy. Like, you believe this shit? What the fuck was that?
Bring the card out here.
This guy's still like, what happened to him? He's got a tummy in? Anyway, ode to women. Soccer players. Men's soccer players are pathetic, I guess.
It's a good ode to women.
All right. Abuse of authority.
I got no songs on here.
All right. We'll make this quick.
Right.
Russian Ministry of Defense tweets video game as proof for U.S. backing ISIS in Syria. So the Russian Ministry of Defense tweeted on Tuesday irrefutable proof of collusion, there's that word, between the United States and ISIS in Syria. But the irrefutable proof, as observed by Elliot Higgins of the investigative outlet Bellingcat, turned out to be a cropped image of a mobile phone video game AC-130 gunship simulator Spec Ops Squadron. So they tweeted a picture from a video game to form their point, and you go anywhere on the street in this country and say, would Russia, make up fake shit to force their view on, or try to prove their view to other people?
Fuck yeah, they would. They're Russia. They're Russia.
You think America would do
something
like that?
No, not that shining beacon on the hill.
Do you think they would
never
mass shootings in their own country to try to enact laws against?
What are you? What do you hate freedom? What's wrong with you?
That just blows my mind. When people buy that, oh yeah, man. I mean, look at them. They're putting the video game pictures up. Do we have This Sucks music?
No.
Short answer is all countries and all governments are doing the same thing as Russia or whatever bad country you're worried about, like China, Russia, Syria, Iran, Iraq. We're doing the same shit. So this sucks.
Yeah, this does sucks.
Last one. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. All right. FoxNews.com. Boston Dynamics.
It does look a lot less terrifying.
Yeah. Just trying to make its robots look less terrifying. 25-second YouTube clip. I mean, I might as well just invite that into the house. Here it comes, if you're watching on YouTube. Look at that friendly fella. See, the thing is, they don't have that Hellcat missile pack on that.
Fuck yeah, that's creepy.
See, the thing is, you could be around the side of that corner. They got you pinned down with small arms fire. Here comes that fucking dog around the corner. Toast, man. Toast.
What? You know what?
And then when they become self-aware, it wouldn't even matter. It'd be just killing everyone. Just like the RoboCop.
Why do they even use bullets anymore? I mean, they're gonna, if they're got shit like that robotic dog that walks around there, there's obviously
frequency cloaks.
Yeah, or remember the weapon that we were banned from using in Iraq early, like in early 2000s. It was that fucking hell ray or death ray where it broadcasts that frequency that made you think you're on fire.
Yeah.
But you weren't on fire.
Yeah.
You felt like.
No talk of that anymore?
There's no talk of that, but that fucking thing exists.
Because I got a better one now. It's more powerful.
I mean, just think about that, though, for a minute. I mean, wouldn't you rather feel like you're on fire than be shot dead?
Yeah. Especially if it's just like oh man, that's bad.
That was rough 30 seconds of my life. I'm not tapped out.
Yeah.
I don't ever want that again. You know? Did they, what? So who was like, who came up with the idea like, oh no, you know what? Let's don't use that. That's too, what? Humane? Or inhumane?
I don't know, man.
I mean, think about that. Like,
if you're not killing people, it'd be
humane, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't want that technology out there yet. Like, we don't need to unveil that yet. Because if we got it, then somebody else can get it and then recreate it. And then what can we do? Then we don't have that upper hand, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing it.
All right.
It's getting late.
All right, that's cool.
All right, so thanks for tuning in tonight. If you're new to the show, we appreciate you listening. If you're old to the show, thanks for sticking around. Like and share Facebook page. Email us at xspearheadx@yahoo.com. If you have show ideas, questions, comments, or concerns, send them there or message us on Facebook. Other than that, hope you have a good week. And that's it.
Somebody said microwaving people is humane. I mean, I don't know if you're completely microwaved. Yes, you probably are, partially. So I guess maybe it is less.
Is it in your head? That's what I thought.
I thought it was a psychological thing, right? I might be wrong.
That's pretty intense if you think about it. If it's some way to control your mind, or like,
yeah.
Oh, you're burning to death. Just kidding.
But I take that over being shot in the head.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But that robot dog's going to have that microwave thing on it. It's just going to
have a microwave. It's going to have a fucking laser
beam
on its back. You
know what it is? If you think about that, though, you know what? Actually, the microwave, it's not enough. What does it leave? It doesn't leave any kind of, you don't get to see all the dead bodies on the ground. That's the whole trauma, right? Like that's where the psychological warfare comes into play.
But you're missing the whole point when those dogs.
That's what I'm saying. The dog comes over. It's gonna. That's why it needs to be. Oh,
it's gonna take over. It doesn't give a shit about humans anyway, because it's gonna think about self-preservation. And it's just gonna be mowing people down.
Yeah.
Rise of the machines. But at least they'll look cute.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, that dog just killed my ass. But look at it.
It's cute.
Yellow.
And he bounces just so sweetly.
Who the fuck thought it'd be a good idea to make this? All right, people. We'll see
Thank you.
Next time.
Thanks for tuning in.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, we appreciate it.
Adios, muchachos.
Can I talk on that?
Not yet.